and gentlemen, to the return of the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday. It is Friday, September 18, 2015. We are on the weekend of WWE Night of Champions, and since Seth Rollins
is in
2 matches on Sunday, we figured we'd bring you 2 shows this week.
That's
Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero.
That's very generous of you.
I am a giver.
You've been very prudish lately.
Prudish?
Prudish.
You just call me a prude?
No, I said prudish.
What does that mean, David Hero?
It's prudish. You have prude tendencies.
I'm prudent.
Yes.
It's a good thing to be prudent.
Yeah.
I'm also punctual.
Absolutely.
I'm actual.
Yes.
I'm factual as well.
Yeah, and reactual.
On this show, folks, as you know, we talk about your feedback and your comments and questions. And, of course, you can always interact with us via several channels, including our YouTube channel, Twitter, and our Facebook page as well. So, David, are you ready? Let's get right down to our first YouTube comment.
No. There's no YouTube comments this week.
What?
None at all. Because,
who's in charge around here?
This is my show. Come on. People here they want to argue with me on this whole thing.
Just looking for your name anywhere.
On Twitter all week, I have been bombarded
on the Twitter?
Yeah, on that Twitter machine, people arguing with me about several topics.
Okay.
Nikki Bella, the longest reigning WWE Divas champion of all time.
As of this past Monday night,
yes.
defeating the streak of one AJ Lee.
And a lot of people are upset about that. They
Why
think
so?
because she's John Cena's girlfriend. John Cena wanted to make sure AJ Lee's record was abolished. Yeah, AJ Lee is not with the company anymore. She's gone. She's history. Everyone says that Nikki Bella's not deserving. You remember when the Bellas first came out? All they did was walk the guest host down to the ring.
Uh-huh.
Remember that?
Uh-huh.
That's all they were good for at that time.
Uh-huh.
Since then, they've become stars. They've gotten better in the ring. They're very talented. They've put their work in. Their work rate is actually better than most people give them credit for. Mm-hmm. They have established a brand. They are on one of the highest rated shows on E.
Not this week.
But I'm saying overall, the Bellas, Team Bella, Nikki and Brie are legitimate stars. And more than likely will wind up in the WWE Hall of Fame, which I'm sure that will irritate the masses.
Only if they go in before Demolition.
But they can't. Coca Beware went in first. And at the current rate of the Hall of Fame, he might be the only guy left in the Hall of Fame pretty soon.
He doesn't fry up his bird.
Well, the first Frankie died. House fire. So, just, what it is, the thing is, you guys have to realize that Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, have done nothing but everything that the WWE has asked of them.
Remember, they departed the company for a period of time.
And you know why they brought them back? Was for the Total Divas reality show. Because they didn't have any other divas at that time that could do that show. For everyone upset about the streak about AJ Lee, the real streak is by the fabulous Moolah.
There you have it.
Okay? Which will never, ever...
28 years?
28 years. Okay? Which is longer or older than some of the current divas on the roster.
Right.
Okay.
And some of them who may not even know who Fabulous Moolah
No, and
was.
the thing is the reason why it's called the Divas title was to take that off of Moolah, because now they can create new stars. And again, pro wrestling is a television show. It's not real competition.
Will you stop talking like that?
Why?
You're insulting our viewers when you say that pro wrestling is a television show. It's not real competition.
Because some people say, Nikki Bella didn't defend the title every week. What title is there to defend every week?
The Divas Championship.
But you're not defending it because you're not really winning or losing.
Yes, you are really winning or losing in the presentation on television.
In the presentation, but it's not an actual win or loss.
Yes, it is. Is it happening? Is a win or loss happening?
Okay.
Is a win or loss happening?
Yes.
So it's an actual win or loss.
So you're
That's like you're sitting here saying wrestling's fake. That's what you're doing right now. You can rub your head all you want. You're sitting here saying wrestling's fake.
It is
fake by definition is that it's not happening. It happens. It is a controlled situation with a premeditated outcome.
Fine. Is that what you want? Because I'm done talking about the Bellas. Now I want to go on my next.
This is why you get into arguments with people on Twitter.
No, I don't, because they don't think. Okay, first of all, they don't understand. They don't look at the bigger picture. They don't look at the business. By Nikki Bella defeating AJ Lee, or by breaking her streak, her record, now means when Charlotte beats her on Sunday, It means more. It's all in the chase. Did you see Charlotte crying in the middle of the ring with her father? How distraught she was that she didn't get the gold? That's where the money is. Now there is heat. There is a ton of heat on that coming match. So when Charlotte eventually does beat her, it means that much more.
So that's your beef? You're not letting me read the YouTube comments because of some
Then there's another one.
tweets about
Then there's
Nikki
another
Bella?
one. There's another. No. Everyone complains about WWE Raw. The show sucks. I will admit there are times the show is a challenge to watch.
Not this past Monday.
I'm saying at times.
At times.
At times it's a challenge.
Much like any TV show.
But what people don't understand or realize is that much like any successful series, Seinfeld, MASH, Friends,
Golden Girls,
All in the Family, they last 6 to 8 seasons. Each season maybe has 10 to 12 episodes.
22 usually.
Okay, 22. So let's say 8 times 22 is about 170 some episodes. That's 3 years on
Raw.
WWE Raw.
Yeah.
So there is no rerun. Yeah, there's a rerun when you see Sheamus or Orton, I guess, but it's every week. It's constantly going, and it's hard to always get everyone in on the show. It's hard to come up with new ideas every week for years upon years upon years.
Well, you can't hit a home run every time you're up at bat, right? Sometimes you're going to hit a single, sometimes you might hit a double, sometimes you might strike out.
You might foul tip.
I'm sorry?
It depends. So, lay off the creative. Unless you've been in those meetings and you see what they have to go through and how there's last-minute changes,
well,
it's one thing to say, hey, okay, hey, you know what? I'm not happy with tonight's show. I didn't think they did this right. That's fine. But if you hate it that much, why are you investing 3 hours of your time every Monday night?
Because they're fans.
Just to go on social media and bitch about how bad it is.
So should they not go on social media and praise
just
how
turn
good it is
off.
at times?
That very seldom happens.
It's a lot easier to complain than
Everyone
to praise.
complains. Yes.
So here's my question.
Yes.
You are defending World Wrestling Entertainment's product with the disclaimer that at times it is a challenge to watch.
What I'm defending is that it's easy for anyone to sit back and criticize.
Monday morning quarterback?
Especially if they've never done it. And I'm willing to bet 98% of the social media people out there, the only time they've ever been in a wrestling ring was for a photo op. Okay? They haven't. You and I have been privy to some of those meetings. And you see how it gets and how 1,000,005 things come up, and last second you got to change something and you're only given 6 minutes to do it. It's a challenge. I mean, it's funny. It's like I don't see everyone complain about all the zombies that get killed in Walking Dead.
You know what? Here's a story that we won't tell any detail of, but to that point of at WWE's last event, SummerSlam, there was a match that over the course of the evening kept changing and changing and changing and changing and changing. And ultimately what was presented, and a lot of people didn't like what was presented, yet there's that 1,005 different things going on that it's not just about that night. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of times we fans look at that presentation, that product, that day, that night, and not look at, as you said, the big picture or look at the longer-term plan. WWE and all episodic television is marching towards something. They're marching towards the next pay-per-view. They're marching towards the season finale. They're marching towards the mid-season cliffhanger. They're marching towards something. And those shows on a weekly basis are simply ways by which to get to that end. So when you look back sometimes, it makes a lot more sense than if you perhaps stopped and looked forward, it could make some more sense as well.
I agree. And my last
You got more?
One last thing. When people say, oh, he or she botched that move, have you never been in a fight before?
I have not.
Well, of course you haven't, you know. But if you're ever in a true physical altercation,
A Donnybrook,
Pier 6, a slobber knocker, a Pier 6 brawl, whatever you want to call it, I've seen a lot of them. I've been in a couple. You trip and fall. You miss a punch when you throw it. You miss a kick.
Weave gets swelled out.
Exactly. Yes. So For someone to say, oh, they botched it, you've obviously never been in a competitive anything.
Well, but here's the thing. A lot of times when botches are mentioned, it's because of all these spots, these acrobatic presentations that a lot of performers do nowadays, as opposed to telling a story in the ring. Because, as you said, in a real fight, I'm not sure there's a man living who can get up from 6, 8, 12 different clotheslines or power bombs or suplexes in succession.
Yeah. Or a super kick a 4-year-old kid. It's just not going to happen.
They are young, or the Bucks. So, all right, well.
But right, I mean, botch is such a terrible word. And I know you hate it too. You do. It drives you insane.
In the memory.
Yeah.
Look, I think that the fans deserve a little bit of relief here. Because, listen.
They have a sense of entitlement.
Listen. Entitlement to good wrestling. Yes, we all have that sense of entitlement to good wrestling.
But not everything is always good. I mean, your favorite sports team tanks. Not every day doesn't always perfect, you know. But it's just funny how the people go on there with their bogus screen names, their
at WrestleMark 316.
Yeah, or their picture of some hot chick as their AVI, whatever it is, or their hot rod car, and they don't have their real name or any resemblance as to who they really are, and they go out there and they talk so much smack. You know what I mean? And it just drives me insane. I mean, like, for us, you know, it's our names.
At Damian Nelson.
At David Hero, you know? And it's just like, I dare you to be who you are and say it to the person's face or put your name on it.
Is that a threat, a challenge? By the way, we received another tape from the Monster Abyss. You know, last month on Primetime, you showed the footage of getting back at him, hitting him with the chair,
and I accepted his
attacking
challenge.
him from behind.
Yeah.
You did accept his challenge, yes?
Yeah.
Well, he has sent his response to your acceptance of his challenge.
Well,
we'll have
good.
that footage tomorrow on Primetime. Also, tomorrow on Primetime, we'll have a preview of WWE Night of Champions with Be the Booker, and we discuss a very interesting topic, folks. Who is or was the better WWE champion, Seth Rollins or CM Punk?
Oh, you're asking for trouble, bro.
Tomorrow night, Primetime comes to you here on YouTube and My 24 Milwaukee. For that one, we will see you then.